A lot has happened this week in the world of wrestling. So much so that I need to play catch up. So let's do that right here in Alyx's world, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm your host, Alyx, just Alyx. We have a lot of topics to get through. Since, dare I say, Tuesday, a lot's happened. So before we get to any of that, let's get a quick word from our partners, Venice AI. This broadcast is partnered by Venice AI. Have you ever thought about what an AI is doing with your chat history? Did you know that Alexa listens in to recommend products and Meta retargets us based on what we click? Most AI platforms like ChatGPT store everything you say and attach it to your identity. They even tend to share it with third parties or other unknown entities. One may ask themselves, why am I handing over my data so easily? That's when today's partners come in. Venice AI. Venice AI prioritizes privacy. It is a private, permissionless AI platform that keeps your data safe. Venice AI doesn't spy on you or censor what you create. Your conversations stay in your browser, not on their servers. No downloads or installs required. Just open your browser or your mobile app and start creating. Whether it's brainstorming video ideas or designing thumbnails for your next YouTube video, it even gives you the ability to use different AI models for different results. Venice AI also lets you upload PDFs for summaries and even allows you to tweak how the AI responds. It's all about giving you privacy and flexibility. So if you're ready to level up your experience and keep your privacy intact, you can sign up using my link, venice.ai/Alyx, to get 20% off its pro plan. So don't miss out. Level up your AI experience with Venice AI today. Thank you all for being here. As always, please like the video, comment, and subscribe. The first thing we're going to talk about is Ricky Starks. Now, I did upload a short about my thoughts, but I'm here to expand on what I said. Him showing up not even 24 hours after AEW let him go. That was crazy. That is the fastest I've seen someone other than Rick Rude, who appeared on WCW, WWE, WWF at the same time. What year was that? Forgot. It was in the 90s. Outside of that, best kept secret. I love that. And I love it because you already know Triple H and Shawn Michaels are sick and tired of their things getting leaked. No offense to Fightful Select or PW Insider or anybody. But you know Triple H hates it when things get out like that. So anytime they get a chance to shock the world and have someone appear without people noticing it, and then it gets all kinds of media attention and it completely blows up, they will hop on that immediately. And Ricky Starks was the perfect storm. He was the start of it. And I think NXT, it's going to be his show. It's going to be his show when he signs officially on Tuesday. Couple of questions. Will he be Ricky Starks? As in, will that be his name? I know he'll be the persona of Ricky Starks. I'm talking about, will he be called Ricky Starks in WWE? I think he owns the rights to that name personally. Like CM Punk owns the rights to CM Punk. AJ Styles owns the rights to AJ Styles. So if he can use it, he better. Because that's going to be a massive boost for him. It's his show. It's his show now. He is the primary star. I believe he will be NXT champion very soon. Obafemi is main roster ready. They can call him up after WrestleMania, if I'm being honest with you, and just give NXT to Ricky Starks and let him run it. Or they might just call Ricky Starks up. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm excited to see what he does. Huge. And yes, I do expect Aleister Black and Miro, Rusev, to also show back up in WWE very soon. But they'll be on the main roster. Aleister Black especially. You already know Triple H is ready to push him when he comes back. So I'm excited for him. I think what's happening here, because of the attention that Ricky Starks is getting, this is a result of Tony Khan suppressing talent. Telling you that these guys are not good enough to be on his television set. Because he's petty. And he's looking like a fool because of it. I said this on one of A&B Convo's recent podcast episodes. I was a guest on there. And I told them the one good thing that Triple H has mastered is making Tony Khan look like an idiot. And that's exactly what he's done so far with Ricky Starks. And I'm expecting him to do the same thing with Aleister Black and Rusev. Let's talk about Here Comes the Axe. Here comes the Smasher, Demolition. Apparently, Demolition have signed Legends deals, which could entail Hall of Fame inductions. Now, this is huge because I believe Demolition, or at least one of them, forgot which one, was in a legal battle for a long time with Vince McMahon. And so that kept him from being involved in anything in terms of Hall of Fame or whatever when it comes to WWE. But since Vince is gone, old wounds heal. And Triple H, being a fan of Demolition, as he should be, and respecting history, will most likely bring them in as legends to put them in the Hall of Fame. Demolition is a long time coming. They should have been in the Hall of Fame. But of course, due to some politics and people who shouldn't have been in there making decisions, they're coming in now. At least it's now and not after they're gone, like Macho Man Randy Savage. So let's celebrate them while they're here. Let's give them their flowers while they're here. Speaking of Hall of Fame, the newest inductee, Michelle McCool. I'm cool with that. No pun intended. That wasn't on purpose. Anyways, Michelle McCool being in the Hall of Fame is one of those things where it's like, duh. She's a multiple-time women's champion. She's fought and beaten the best. She's really good inside the ring. During a time when female wrestling was not that great, she stood out. She's also The Undertaker's wife. And therefore, she should be in the Hall of Fame. No, not because she's married to The Undertaker. I do believe she's worthy of it. When you look at her history, when you look at what she's done, when you look at who she's influenced, many women were inspired by Michelle McCool. I just hate that Michelle came up during a time when women's wrestling, in my personal opinion, the Divas era, that's when women's wrestling was at its lowest. Even though she was one of the bright points of it, I hate that she didn't get, in my opinion, she didn't get to wrestle during a period when women's wrestling was much more appreciated. And that didn't come until the likes of Bayley, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair. You get the idea. Sasha Banks. But you know what? We see it. We've always seen the talent that Michelle McCool had. So I have no issues with her going in. I wish she was Victoria. When she signed that Legends deal, I was 100% certain that Victoria was going to be the female inductee this year. But no, it's Michelle McCool. Whatever, I get it. It was eventually going to happen. Victoria better be going in soon, though. As in next year. Because I love that woman. And she deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. A lot of people deserve to be in, but what can we do? Josh Alexander. So, apparently, and this is something that I didn't see coming, Josh Alexander is signing with AEW. I was 100% certain he was coming to WWE with Ethan Page signing. And, of course, with TNA forming their partnership with WWE. I'm thinking, well, all the TNA talent are going to WWE now, right? Nope. Josh Alexander broke that mode. He's going to AEW. All right, best of luck to him. I think it would have been better for him to go to NXT with Ethan Page, honestly. But look, he has friends in AEW. It's clear that's the case, and he'll probably be able to do a little bit more, have more freedom inside the ring, and be booked stronger under Tony Khan, and probably be featured more as a, I would hope, as a main event player under Tony Khan. But someone like Josh Alexander, if he was to get that WWE training to master being a character and connect with an audience, he'll blow up. I feel it. Because we all know Josh Alexander is excellent inside the ring. No one is ever going to question that. What he's lacking is, of course, the presentation, the charisma, the ability to connect with an audience. Which I feel like he would have learned. He still can learn because he's young, but could have learned if he went to WWE and not AEW. So I'm hoping he'll learn some of those tricks in AEW. But let's be real. He'll be more appreciated for his wrestling ability in AEW than in WWE. But we'll see. We shall definitely see how that works out for him. SmackDown. Let's talk about SmackDown this past week. I did not do a live stream for SmackDown. That was on purpose. I have not been the biggest fan of SmackDown. The 3 hours is just too much for me. And watching it on replay, yeah, it's not working out. The 3 hours are not working out at all. It doesn't help that Road Dogg Jesse James is now back as co-lead writer. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. It's one of those things where, yes, Triple H is ultimately making the decisions. He's ultimately the head of creative. And maybe Jesse James will work out better with Triple H in charge and not Vince McMahon. We'll see. But man, I remember when he was running SmackDown. He killed it, bro. Not like the good kind of killed. He destroyed it with Jinder Mahal as world champion. It was not a good show. It sucked. But again, he was working for Vince McMahon. Let's see how he works with Triple H. He actually might be good with Triple H. Or it could be bad, as I'm expecting it to be. But regardless of who's writing the show, it's pretty hard to sit through. It's going to take a miracle to make people care about this show. But there are some good things about it. Jacob Fatu is being moved to the forefront in terms of a main event player. And Solo Sikoa is being reduced to his second hand. They're putting Solo back as a supporting character. He works better as a supporting character. I think he's a great talent. I love his promo ability. I think he's gotten better overall since being pushed as a main event player. The problem is, he just never connected. That's just not the role for him. I'm sorry. Right now, Solo is not that guy. He doesn't scream to me main event player. Not with Jacob there. And part of the reason why they kept Jacob off TV was because they were scared Jacob would overshadow him. Well, too bad. That's exactly what ended up happening anyways. He got overshadowed by Jacob. So, good to know that WWE is adapting now and realizing, okay, you know what? We're done fighting it. Jacob is now the lead. He will now be at the forefront of the storyline, and he'll get the main event spot. He'll get the promos. He'll get the world title shots, and Solo will be the supporting character. Sounds good to me. I'm just waiting on when that "I love you, Solo" turns to "I hate you, Solo." But I did love seeing Solo give him his props on SmackDown, essentially saying, "I love you, Jacob." So let's see what happens. I have a feeling there's going to be a "I hate you, Solo" coming very soon. And that "I hate you, Solo" is going to be deep and awesome. Speaking of awesome, I am loving this new darker version. Couldn't find a better word for it, but a darker version of the Street Profits. Kind of reminds me of New Jack City. It's working out pretty well. I'll say it, they're the best thing in the tag team division, next to the New Day. Heel New Day, and is this a heel Street Profits? I don't know. They feel like aggressive baby faces, if anything else, because I don't feel the need to boo them yet. They look like heels, but I don't know anymore, because they attack both heels and baby faces, so tweeners? We'll figure it out. Charlotte Flair has chosen Tiffany Stratton to be her opponent for WrestleMania 41. Color me surprised. I was certain Charlotte was going to choose Rhea Ripley. I had told myself that was the match for WrestleMania 41. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, 3. The one to settle it all, right? No. They decided to not do that match. Okay. And instead they're doing Tiffany time versus Charlotte Flair. Tiffany Stratton will take on Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. Okay, so Tiffany's losing the belt. Y'all know what time it is, right? You all know what time it is. It's time for Charlotte to win the belt again. I was wrong about Charlotte fighting Rhea. I hope I'm wrong about this one too. I hope I'm wrong. I do think Tiffany should beat Charlotte. but I have a feeling that's not happening. It will be title number what? Number 15? Yes, title number 15 at WrestleMania 41. Y'all knew this was happening. You knew the moment she walked back in. At the very least, I'm happy they're embracing her as a heel. It is hard for fans to really sympathize with somebody who essentially went on vacation when she got hurt. Feel sorry for me while I ride on my yacht and my private jet while wearing $10,000 fur coats. I'm sorry. It was never going to work out for her as a babyface. She is not meant to be a babyface. She is a natural born heel. The Flairs are natural born heels, and that's okay. Embrace it. Let the crowd hate Charlotte. Let them hate her before they respect her enough to want to cheer her. She'll get cheers here and there. Every time she shows up, she'll get the woo every time. But they should hate her. Rightfully so. This is the complete opposite of Jey Uso. Jey, who told a 5-year story since Roman Reigns turned heel. And we've been following that story. Watching him grow. Change characters. Be conflicted with himself. And then become who he is today. Main event Jey Uso. Yeet! That was a 5-year, 4.5-year journey for Jey. Charlotte never really got that journey. She was walked in on a red carpet. She walked in on a red carpet and got a championship. Won the Divas Championship within months of being on the main roster. And then won the new women's title, and she's been in the main event since. The thing about Charlotte is, even though she kind of has been given the princess treatment, she backs it up inside the ring. She backs it up. So, with her status, she's going to keep getting these opportunities, whether you like her or not. So you might as well just turn her heel and let fans hate her. But yes, my prediction is Charlotte will beat Tiffany Stratton, but I hope I'm wrong, because I want Tiffany to keep that belt for a little bit longer. She just got it, and fans really like her. I really like her. But you know what I really don't like? Shinsuke Nakamura as the United States champion. Is it just me, or is this one of the most forgettable, uninteresting championship runs I've seen? Which seems to be the issue with Nakamura. Every time they give him a belt, they never use him. I was hoping Triple H would treat him differently, but it hasn't been the case. They have completely misused Nakamura. One of the worst championship reigns I've seen. I'm sorry, I completely forgot he even held the belt. So yeah, go ahead and give it back to LA Knight. I'm not saying LA Knight's reign was great, but at the very least, I know who's holding the belt when LA Knight's champion. I don't forget who the United States champion is when he's holding it. The problem with both Nakamura and LA Knight is that they don't have enough opponents, or worthy enough opponents, to make that championship mean something. And so, unfortunately, with Nakamura, it's not working out for him. So go ahead and give the belt back to LA Knight, and then we'll figure something out. And it sucks for Nakamura. I don't think he's going to last very long, unfortunately. I'm not saying he should be released, but he's not presented as someone on a high level. And I think back to 2016, when he came in on a House of Fire. He came off of New Japan Pro Wrestling as one of the biggest international sensations. And man, he got over instantly. NXT was his house. Then they called him up in 2017. And I said it then. You need to smash him over. Smash him over John Cena. Smash him over Randy Orton. And give him that world title. And they didn't give him the world title. That was Road Dogg Jesse James. He fucked up Nakamura badly. But then they gave Nakamura the Royal Rumble. And then I said, awesome. He'll get his moment at WrestleMania. And they never gave him the world title. All these opportunities and he failed every single time. And then they wonder why he's not over anymore. Unfortunately, when you fail that many times, it hurts you. And then even with Triple H, he had an opportunity to beat Seth Rollins for the world title. And he failed. So what do you do at this point? He's damaged goods. I love him. I think he's a great talent. But I wouldn't be upset if they let him go and he goes back to Japan and he finds a way to get over again. Unfortunately, that's where we are with Nakamura, whether we like it or not. Let's talk about NXT, because I did see NXT Vengeance Day. Stephanie Verker is now your new North American Women's Champion. Naturally charismatic. She doesn't even need to speak English. She does. She can speak English. But clearly her primary language is, Spanish? Hispanic? You make the most out of it. I love it. You could just tell she knows what she's doing. She has that badassery aura to her. And she's awesome inside the ring. Well, she better be. She's a veteran. I would hope so. But she's one of those pickups that just naturally click with WWE. And when she gets to the main roster, it's over. I think Stephanie Verker, Lola Vice, and Jada Parker are going to be huge on the main roster when they get there. No joke. I'm excited for them. But I'm happy she's champion. And also the women overall, the women's division is just too goddamn amazing on NXT. And that's by design. Shaw knows exactly what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to make you watch NXT. And I appreciate that. In all seriousness, I loved both women's matches. They opened with a women's match and they closed with a fatal 4-way. Love seeing Bayley back on NXT. It fits well with her. Roxanne, of course, Cora Jade. I'm happy Cora Jade is getting some shine again. But Julia. Here's the thing about Julia. Julia, Io Sky, Asuka, Kairi Sane. All four of them. As good as they are, it's hard to imagine how great they would be if they weren't diluted. You know what I mean when I say diluted. They are being held back. They're not able to wrestle that strong style that they learned in Stardom, New Japan, Japan. They are not able to wrestle the style that I think they need to be wrestling to really connect with the audience. But I think the WWE is scared because they feel like that style is too much for talent. In my opinion, if you can't handle that style, why are you wrestling? I hope Triple H eventually lets them cut loose. Because I think Julia, as good as she is, would be so much better if she can work strong style. But I love what they're doing. I like that Jordynne Grace is back on NXT this time permanently because she did sign a contract with WWE. That's a good spot for her. I would have called Jordynne Grace up to the main roster, but she'll be there soon. As for the rest of the card, they have their own new Shield group that's not the Shield, but really is the Shield, just done differently. These 4 guys wearing Shield masks. We'll talk about it in a second. I like what they did with the tag match, where they just came in and wrecked everybody. That was cool. What they did with Obafemi was kind of overproduced, where they shut off the lights and then gave them spotlights. I would rather them just kind of hit the ring and beat people up. I'm just like, that felt a little bit overproduced, but that's just me. That's a nitpick. I'm fine with him having his own Shield group. I'm not saying that the Shield own the Black Ops stuff. Look, Nexus did it. NWO did it. If they want to do it, that's fine too. Just make it unique. The Shield masks just remind me too much of the Shield. Too much. Way too much of it. So I don't watch a lot of NXT. So I can't comment too much on Eddie Thorpe. But from first impressions, I'm not impressed. This show was meant for someone like Eddie Thorpe. Because I'm sitting here like, clearly y'all see something special in him. I don't see it. At least with Lyra Valkyria, I understand it. Because she's great inside the ring. People like Shotzi Blackheart and Lyra Valkyria, I might not be big fans of them, but I understand why the company and why others behind scenes love them so much. They see a diamond in the rough and they want to mold it to be something big. Eddie Thorpe, I'm just looking at and going, clearly something is there, otherwise they wouldn't be pushing him, but I don't see it at all. I think the last thing we'll talk about is AEW, because they did have their Australia show, AEW Grand Slam Australia, that was supposed to be a pay-per-view, but ended up being a regular event that aired at 10 p.m. at night because Tony Khan sucks at promotion and advertisement. The whole marketing of this event was a disaster. Horrible. And Tony Khan deserves all the blame for that. That being said, despite the fact that this was taped and aired at a ridiculous time at night, ridiculous, it did come off well. The crowd carried the show. It looked like a solid 11,000. Packed out the building. And they were loud. I loved them serenading Edge, Adam Copeland, Cope to the ring. Goodness gracious. Adam Copeland. I'm calling him Adam Copeland. I love seeing him get emotional as the crowd was serenading him with Metalingus. That was a beautiful moment. And another moment where I go, this should have been on pay-per-view, Tony! Moments like that should be live. At least on Dynamite. If not a pay-per-view. Because imagine that moment in front of a live audience. What that would have done for AEW. But the show overall, I did watch it. And the wrestling was really, really good. Love the opening tag match. Of course, the Dream Team. You can't call themselves the Dream Team if they're not going to win. So they beat those two guys. And I think Omega's going to challenge for the international title at Revolution. Awesome. Love that. And then Ospreay is fighting Kyle Fletcher in a steel cage. I'm there. I think those two matches honestly make the show even better. I think Revolution is going to be a banger show, but we'll get to that later. Our girl Harley Cameron did not beat Mercedes Moné. It didn't matter. Her winning was not the point here. She got over in a loss. Her presentation, her build-up, the crowd receiving her, even after she lost, that is what mattered. And I hope Tony Khan can capitalize on this and keep her relevant. Yes, she lost. You can give her another shot down the road. Do I think she should be the one to end Mercedes' reign? No. I think that should be Athena. Maybe she could be Athena. Fuck it. Let's see what happens. I'm all for Harley Cameron getting that shine because she's amazing. If she's great at what she does, please feature her. I'm all for it. I really enjoyed seeing Toni Storm win the title back. And I really enjoyed seeing Adam Copeland getting serenaded to the ring. That was really, really cool. The crowd really brought it. And they really made this show feel special. More special than it had every right to be. And coming out of it, I'm just like, God, these guys deserve a pay-per-view. And I hope the next time AEW does go back there, because Tony Khan did say they were going back there. He got booed, by the way. When Tony Khan came out to make that announcement, he got booed. But he did let them know they are coming back. They better get a pay-per-view. After getting a crowd like that, and what they did for that show, you better give them a pay-per-view. I am sick and tired of AEW shooting itself in the foot and getting in its own way when it comes to creating the best possible television. When it comes to building actual momentum for AEW and getting some buzz behind it. You could have really done something special with AEW Grand Slam in Australia. Good show, but I doubt people will remember it as time goes by, but that's just me. But I think that's going to do it. That's going to catch me up on everything, right? The only thing left to talk about is that the WWE has increased its pay for talent. It says here, before Triple H took over, the average salary for a wrestler on the main roster was $200K. Now, it's like $300K or $350K. Huge. Good for them. They making dough. That's a lot of money to be making. So, yeah, that's about it. Nothing else to really add here. So I guess we'll just go ahead and end it here. Thank you all so much for watching. As you file out, do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cashapp, and Venmo. I love you all. And I'll catch you guys next time right here in Alyx's world. The place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Peace.